Welcome back, everyone. It is Monday, March 31st in the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. As always, it is Austin joined by Logan. We're going to dive into a recap of yesterday. And I sold the sweep, Logan, man. But hey, we'll take a 2-in-1 day. Marlins money line cashed in electric fashion. I think that's the only way the fish are allowed to win is on a walk-off. Athletics Mariners nerfy, a little less sweaty than the one before. But man, I'm sad to see that series go. It's tough, but hey, we'll take it. And then Braves and Padres both to score 2+ in the first 7. Padres did their job. I don't even know if the Braves had 2 base runners the whole game. They were absolutely terrible yesterday. But Logan, great work on the fish. Let's try to do it again today. Despite selling the sweep yesterday, we did technically sweep the NBA. We went 4-0 there. So again, if you want to go check that out, our NBA video should be up in a few hours. But let's lock in and let's get some MLB winners for the people. Logan, you got another underdog money line, a team that's playing at home. Logan, where are we going?
Yeah, it's the same recipe as what cashed for us yesterday. I took a home team that was an underdog. And I'm taking the Cincinnati Reds on the money line, plus 105 odds on BetMGM right now is your best value. Now I'm backing Brady Singer in his first start for his new team. Obviously, Brady Singer, we saw him with the Royals last season, but now he's with the Reds. And Brady Singer in 2024, 3.71 ERA, 1.27 WHIP for Singer. I mean, he was one of those pitchers that he got into a lot of jams, sometimes got himself out of them, sometimes did not. He had a mix of good and bad starts last season. What I do like to see is in spring training, he did keep that ERA under 3, 2.55 ERA. His whip was a little high for my liking at a 1.42, but I'm pretty sure he will dial in with the hits and walks as the season goes on. Last season, he was really tough on lefties, only allowing a 208 batting average. He was tough on righties. I meant to say the hitters I'm most concerned about are the righties in this Rangers lineup. Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien, Wyatt Langford. Those are all right-handed batters. Well, Brady Singer was really tough on those righties, and I think if we're looking at this lineup, Corey Seager is a lefty. There's a few other lefties like Leody Taveras, but I really think if you can get those guys out, you're doing yourself a lot of favors within this Rangers lineup. So I do think Brady Singer's in line for a really solid start. This season, the Rangers tied for 16th in batting average with runners in scoring position at 200. It's not that great of a batting average. Their OPS with runners in scoring position just 23rd. OPS stands for on base plus slugging. So if we're looking at those numbers, I think Brady Singer has a pretty solid start in this one. I think he goes 5-6 innings, maybe 2 to 3 earned runs max. If he gives us that type of start, we're going to be in a really good position to cash because this Reds offense, I think, will have his back. And they face off against Kumar Rocker. Last season in 3 starts, Rocker, 3.86 ERA, 1.54 WHIP. Obviously, very small sample size for Rocker. We're going to see how this season plays out, what type of pitcher he is. He did walk some batters, though, for sure. He had 4 and 2 walks in 2 of those 3 starts. So limited sample size, I know, but again, walks were an issue at times. He also gave up 7 hits in one of those starts, and that was to the Athletics in September. Look, I don't remember what the A's lineup looked like in September. I know they were plugging in a bunch of guys, but I mean, this is a really good Reds lineup, and if he makes mistakes like that, they will make him pay. Why? Because the Reds are second in the MLB in batting average with runners in scoring position at hitting 400. The only team better than them is the New York Yankees and their torpedo bats, right? But they're 6th best in OPS with runners in scoring position as well. The reason I include more metrics than just batting average is because more metrics are better. I mean, they're almost top 5 in a lot of these categories with runners in scoring position. The Reds are also very aggressive on the bases. They know how to get into scoring position and really give them the chances to hit those guys home. I really do like this Reds offense. And then if we go to the bullpens, not a huge discrepancy between these two teams. Reds 16th in bullpen ERA, Rangers 14th. Obviously, we're going to see how it plays out week to week. But this is the Reds' 4th home game of the season and the Rangers' first road game. That definitely does bode well for the Reds, playing in the comfort of Great American Ballpark, and the Rangers being the first road game of the season. We'll see how they do. But I'm going to go ahead and take a plus money shot on the Reds. I think this is a really good team, and I think they get to Kumar Rocker today. Let's go, Reds. Austin, what you rolling with today, though?
Logan, we have our first K prop of the season. Now, it will be a 2-leg parlay, but they are very correlated in terms of the legs. We're fading one pitcher to hopefully not strike out some guys and hopefully deliver, giving some home runs and stuff to the other team. And that'll be Herman Marquez. And we're backing him. We're taking actually his over or his under 4.5 strikeouts, parlaying that with the Phillies to score 3 or more runs. This is a 2-leg parlay. It's minus 114 on FanDuel, a 1-unit play. As I said, Marquez starts for the Rockies today. At least he's scheduled to start. And I think this is a really tough matchup for him to get the strikeouts. Now, number one, if you've never watched Marquez play or pitch, he's mostly a pitch to contact guy. And when you get pitch to contact guys, they're not really getting a ton of strikeouts. And he has really struggled over the last few years. Now, I do want to know he really hasn't pitched much. So not only could he struggle today against the Phillies lineup that's been pretty good, and we'll talk about their splits, but also he's been injured the last 2 seasons. He only made 4 starts in 2023, 1 start last year. He's been dealing with a ton of injuries. So coming into his first start of the year, number one, I don't see them running him into the ground. And number two, the guy just hasn't been that great. In his last, I mean, we talk about striking out guys. He's thrown over about 13 2/3 innings pitched in spring training, only 8 total strikeouts. And he's been throwing about 225 pitches. So again, this is a guy that has allowed 3 earned runs in 3 straight spring training starts. Back in 2022, this was a guy that averaged 7 Ks per 9 innings. 2023, about the same number. Last year, only had 1 start. So we're really not going to bring off those numbers. But again, this is a guy I don't see pitching more than 75 pitches. That's what he maxed out at spring training. And even if he does, maybe he's getting teed up. This Phillies lineup we know has firepower. We'll see if Trey Turner's back. Probably not. But end of the day, I'm not too worried about that. I really like backing the Phillies when they're facing a righty because you have guys like Marsh down low at the bottom of the lineup that can actually get on base and do some damage there. But again, the Phillies yesterday, if you backed them, apologies, 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So they really didn't get those timely hits when you needed them. But again, they should have guys plentiful on base this season. I know they haven't faced a ton of right-handed pitching. In fact, we saw Mackenzie Gore carve them up in the first start, but he's a lefty. Then they faced Mitchell Parker yesterday, another lefty. But the only righty they faced was Jake Irvin, and they got 7 hits on him, 2 earned runs. So, well, look, the Phillies back at home, Citizens Bank Park, their opening day. I'll take my chances that they can get us 3 runs. Played them 3. It doesn't even have to be on Marquez. It could be on a Rockies bullpen that hasn't been great last year, last few years. This year, they're off to a slow start, 7.45 ERA, and they were facing the dang Rays. Again, I see Marquez not getting a lot of Ks here. Maybe he finishes with 4 max, maybe 2 or 3. Wouldn't shock me. It's the Phillies team. As I said, I haven't faced a ton of righties, but this season versus right-handed pitching, they're batting .321, a 200 WRC plus, which is second highest in baseball, and only a 10.9 strikeout percentage in those 64 plate appearances. And, they've been facing a bunch of relievers and stuff they haven't really seen too often in Jake Irvin. So, again, I'll take my chances here that the Phillies can come in here, lock in, get us 3 runs, but also chase Marquez out of it. If we are lucky, we'll get the 3 runs on Marquez and get him on out of here with 3 or 4 Ks max. So I really like this play, 2-leg parlay. You could take the regular under 4.5 Ks, but it's juiced at like minus 150 on FanDuel and minus 165 on other books when we're recording this. So I really do like it. I think we had a great chance at smacking that one and getting those props back up and moving. But Logan, I think you hear the music, baby. You know what time it is. It's Nerfy Nation time. The hardest time for Nerfy Nation time is trying to find at the beginning of the series the best matchups to go with. Now, Logan and I, we've just been hammering A's and Mariners Nerfies, and man, it's not there anymore. But I think people should know where we're going, Logan. Shouldn't be a huge shock as our favorite Nerfy of the day. And it's Tigers and Mariners. No run first inning, minus 130 on FanDuel. There's a couple we looked at today, but we'll take our chances here. I mean, we've talked to the Mariners. Their offense had bases loaded, no outs, and couldn't score. That's kind of where their offense is at the moment. Today, Logan can touch on the Mariners offense, who they will face, but I'm going to talk about the Tigers offense. Now, technically, if you took the Tigers Nerfy yesterday, they scored 2 runs. Those are their first 2 runs in the first inning this season. Today, they'll face Emerson Hancock, and he was 9-3 on Nerfies last season, 7-1 at home. His last 2 spring training starts combined, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run, pretty solid. Now, the Detroit Tigers last year, 23rd in first inning runs. However, they were really, really bad on the road. They averaged about 0.54 runs per first inning at home. They're in like the 0.3s on the road. They were like 5th worst on the road. So struggling offense on the road. I know they got Riley Green, who loves to wreck us and get on base, but I really think this is a good spot to fade the Tigers offense. Facing Hancock, I mean, this is a guy I do want to note did struggle a little bit with runners in scoring position yesterday, so it's maybe not our favorite one we've taken over the last 3 days, but we still think he can go out there and get us those first 3 outs. And then Logan, who's taking us home in the bottom half of the inning?
Yeah, it's going to be Jackson Jobe who's starting for the Tigers. Now, limited sample size for Jackson Jobe. Appeared twice in the regular season last year and twice in the postseason. What we do know about Jobe, he's got really good strikeout stuff. So if he does get these hitters in a 2-strike count, hopefully he is able to put them away. And the reason why we keep going back to this Mariners offense is just they're not hitting. I mean, if they're going to score, they're scoring 2 to 3 runs in a lot of these games. This season versus right-handed pitching, the top of the lineup guys, Victor Robles is just 1 for 8. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 6. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 7. And Randy Arozarena, 1 for 7 if they do even get to him. I'd love to see 3 up, 3 down for Jackson Jobe. But this Mariners lineup is just not hitting with runners in scoring position. And we're going to go ahead and take our chances all day long. That Osvaldo Bido Nerfy really set the tone for how we view this Mariners offense. They got to show it. They got to ruin a few of our Nerfies for us to go away from them. So I really do like this one, Nerfy Nation. Let's fly the flags.
Absolutely. Let's fly the flags. The only other one I looked at was Pirates and Rays, but that total suspiciously high at 8.5. And I feel like the weather might be blowing out. Logan, before we wrap up, are there any other picks or games that you looked at? Maybe didn't pull the trigger. Is there any other, we got a lot of day games today too.
I know. I was telling you off camera. I want to see how a lot of these early games kind of start out. One of my pitchers I used to fade when he was pitching was Chris Bubich. He's starting for the Royals today. I really want to see how that Brewers lineup attacks him because I think they could really put some hits and runs up on him. If they do damage against him, maybe that sets the tone as one of the pitchers we fade. I definitely want to see how that one plays out. I do want to see how that Phillies game plays out too because back at Citizens Bank Park, this is a team that I mean they're home and road. They are a completely different team sometimes. So I hope they cash for your pick. But really, we're just trying to gather data early in the season. Baseball's a very data-driven sport, so we definitely want to see how that plays out.
Yeah, 100%. We normally hit our stride kind of in that mid-April, after maybe the first week of April, when every team has had about 10 or so games under the belt, and then they can figure things out. Another prop I looked at, I think we'll probably stick to the 3 plays we talked about in the video. I looked at Mike Trout's over in hits, runs, and RBIs. Finally got off the snide yesterday, made some hard contact. Today he's facing Meatball Michaelis, who doesn't walk guys. We know that. So, look, he's going to be putting contact. I mean, if you're putting contact on Michaelis pitches, normally they go far away. So I do like him. I just didn't want – I feel like Trout's one of those guys, you back him when he's hot, and right now he's not there. So if he gets hot today, then maybe you start backing him. But I don't think I want to be a day early on something like that. So I'll stick with the one pick, which is Marquez under and out strikeouts parlayed with the Phillies to hopefully score 3 for us. But, Logan, let's have a great day. People, Nerfy stream. 9:30 p.m. A little late night Nerfy will probably be out there on stream. So as always, appreciate you guys. We'll see you later tonight. And if you want to check out the NBA video, it should be live in a few hours. See you guys then. Peace.